Hi, good evening, good evening, good evening. Namaste, Jai Hind, Jai Hind Aditya, hi SSB, Nation, hi Vivek, everyone, Jai Hind. क्या चल रहा है संडे सैटरडे शाम संडे की तैयारी so my dear friend so today we'll be having a live interview with one of a very passionate runner marathon runner. She has got amazing story. She's an author, she's a writer, she's a blogger. So I want to show you this side of how fitness helps, and someone who started late, but she's amazing. So I'm just uh, getting Manasi online. Manasi Samudra, yes, Manasi is there. So guys, it's 7 o'clock Saturday sham. Or I'll be live with Manasi. Manasi is a very well-known runner, a marathon runner. Hi Rohini. She's an amazing writer, blogger, and one of her, couple of her anthology books have released in this lockdown. So Manasi, yes, I have sent you the request. Hi Shweta. Hi Amit. Manasi, kidhar ho? Where are you? Hi Apeksha, Jai Hind everybody. Lot of my young friends are here who will be watching this. Most of them are armed forces aspirants. So today I'm giving you a different perspective on fitness, on how to join the armed forces, on how to be, fit, how to take up running. So I'm just waiting for Mansi. I'm trying to add her. Hi Amit. Just send the request to Mansi. Jai Hind Archana. Hi everyone. बस कुछ ही पल की. Yes, all those who want to call me, you can call tomorrow. Yes. Mansi किधर हो? Hi Devi. Hi everyone. Just waiting for Mansi. So today we have a talk with uh, Mansi, and Mansi is a very accomplished marathon runner. Devi, you are ever young. Devi is ever young. Hi Rajni. Okay, so all questions I will take. Pehle, let me add Mansi किधर है? Let me check. So Mansi किधर हो तुम? You there, Mansi? Hi everyone. Questions? Mansi, तेरा yes. Waiting for Mansi. I think some issue with the internet connection. Yes, and here is Mansi. Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, and the मानसी, जिसके बारे में मैं अभी बात कर रहा था, मैंने आपको इतना कुछ बताया, बीच में मानसी का कनेक्शन. मानसी, कैन यू हियर मी?
Yeah, loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so I was wondering कि suddenly क्यों connect नहीं हो रहे हैं करके, like
And it
जैसे.
was permissions and all. I don't use all these, no? So
Yeah. So I was introducing everyone. Lot of our friends are there. So
hi
there are
guys.
two. So there are
Hi.
two types. Yeah, so there are two type of audience. One is our regular runner friends, a lot of them from everywhere, and lot of young people who are aspiring to join the armed forces. A lot of them are there. So they always ask me about how do you guys run? आप लोग इतना run कैसे कर लेते हो? And हम लोग कैसे कर सकते हैं? And I always tell them, see, running is one of the simplest sports. वो बात अलग है कि हम लोग 40 plus wale, still we are running, we are enjoying, and so a lot of them want to know also how to take running as a sports, a sports. A lot of them say, आप लोग 21 42 करते हो, isn't it a huge distance, कैसे होता है, पैर नहीं दुखता है, all those stuff, you know. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone, so I am live with the Mansi Samudra, one of the athlete whom I admire. I have seen Mansi's progress. I have known Mansi from many years now, and she's also amazing writer, amazing reviewer, amazing. She reads books like tuck tuck tuck. Normal people take 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 days to read a book. Mansi take 2 days to read a book, and she's also now a published author with anthologies in couple of books, and she writes amazing stories, amazing blogs. She writes blogs on various events, the running events she participated. She writes about people, and that is in short Mansi for you. So we'll be hearing more from Mansi rather than मैं बकवास करने से अच्छा है कि कोई और बकवास करे.
दोनों ही पहले मान है लोग मिले हुए. So this is going to be fun.
So,
Anyway.
so this is a very candid chat, like. So, Mansi, first thing is, have now, since you are a very well-known runner with, whenever you train very seriously. So, was sports always a part of your growing up?
Yeah.
Was
Okay, actually, let me tell you with a small bit. Okay, as a child, I was sporty. I always enjoyed outdoor sports and apna usual langri and cricket and badminton, whatever we would play. Essentially, kho sab maza karte the. Hide and seek, anything and everything possible. But third standard, actually, I very distinctly remember that particular vacation when I somehow at that point in time, actually, my mom used to send me, hum log ground pe jate the. There was this
okay.
thing where in the evening post school, because my mom is a criminal lawyer, so
Oh.
essentially she used to be busy. Yeah. So you know where I get it. So basically, she used to be busy. And in the evenings, even at that point in time, Vijay, I used to go straight to the ground after school on my own, which was quite a distance, but we would walk it there and it wasn't. I mean, those times were different in terms of safety and stuff. And tabhi wahan pe langdi, kho-kho, volleyball, just about anything and everything we played. But on that particular day, I was like, my leg is paining. I don't want to go. And my mom told me, no, you go. Essentially, she wanted me to go. She thought I'm just making some excuse kinds. And then I came back, and at that point in time, we found out that I had suffered from arthritic, fever, rheumatic fever, basically.
Okay.
So that's when we went to the doctor, and there was nothing as far as allopathy was concerned. In fact, at that point in time, I was told to have penicillin for till the age of 21 or something. And my mom used to literally pour it down my throat. It was that bad. I mean, that kind of. Fortunately, or what do I say? Maybe, back issues run in my family. My dad has had issues. So he was already consulting a Vaidya who is very famous in Pune, Khadiwale Vaidya, who's like an Ayurvedic doctor. And he is the one who turned the whole situation around. 2 months, summer vacation, I was practically on bed. But with his medicines and stuff, I was all sorted. After that, it was more, in fact, because of that, I was more into sports, strengthening. Then I got into basketball. I went on to represent Pune. I played for the Pune district team and later even represented Maharashtra. I got a chance to play for Maharashtra as well when we won the silver medal, surprisingly. But in the final against Punjab, that was one hell of a game. Again, in Patiala with those gun-toting commanders here and there. Oh my God, that was one experience. Amazing. But then once I got into B.Pharm, pharmacy, everything was left behind. I mean, there was no chance with me. I was studying in DY, which was at Pimpri, which was like quite a travel in Pune. And I used to go by bus. So practically, I waited like three hours for the bus. So in Mumbai, it's like, luxury traveling in buses, honestly. So anyways, but then because of that, but I continued with a little bit of jogging and stuff. Later on, turned to yoga, went into gymming and running. So it was constantly there. And again, for I unfortunately, I mean, like my first job was pharma marketing, where I used to travel quite a bit. I had my zone till Lonavala, so like once a week I used to go to Lonavala by train, and baki अपना two wheeler पे, you know, going to Nigdi and Pimpri, Dapodi all the way. So all probably the Pune roads and the everything took a toll, or maybe basketball or whatever the reason. But essentially, I have 3 disc prolapses. So
okay.
slip disc, yeah. And that time again, I was laid up on bed for a month. And again, there's no real cure. Surgery is not an option. So basically, it was, I would say, you know, I have a weighing scale inside me. I mean, you know, 2 kgs बढ़ जाता है तो दुखना चालू. So it's very simple. So, and the only way is to maintain yourself, you know, exercise is the only key. So again, the same thing continued. And fortunately, in fact, after I started running, at that point in time, a friend of mine helped me. He's into sports medicine, Dr. Sridhar Chiplunkar, who's in Pune. And he told me a couple of exercises which I would do diligently. I was dreading my pregnancy because you know the amount of weight we put on. But luckily, I had no issues whatsoever, and everything went smoothly. After that, obviously, you know, things were a little low again. Confidence chala jata hai. I did start a little bit of yoga at home, Surya Namaskar and all, because getting out of the house with such a small baby at that point in time, not possible. But again, running, you know, I used to just get out with the phone, and my father-in-law, when he was at home, he was like, I'll take it. This is like 2-3 months later, obviously. But running would help. And then Powai run happened, which was like 4K. And I didn't have the confidence to register for the 10K. Let me be very honest. As your 4G bachas keep saying, you know, itna kaise hota hai and all. I can imagine. I mean, I was into running, but that confidence wasn't there, you know. 4 kilometer kitna hota hai, kisko malum hai yaar?
Seriously, तभी 4 kilometer.
Exactly. So it was, and for me, I mean, I cannot do things without training. You know, I need to be prepared. I don't just get up and do things. मुझसे नहीं होता है. Simple as that. So basically, that year, 2012, I went and did the Powai run, 4 kilometers, about half an hour maybe. And then the year later, obviously, I did the 10K, which I finished in 57 minutes. In fact, I think I was 7th or something. That also was a big joke because next day, kuch 8th ka 7th pe aa gaya, 6th pe aa gaya. In fact, I remember I had tagged Sayuri, who was first, and I was like, "Dekh, tu weekend tak main first mein bhi aa jayegi." But that time we didn't know na, all the background, whatever happens and stuff which get rechecked and whatever. But that was the start. And then 15K I did at PRBM the year, I mean, before, because I had very ambitiously gone and registered for the 21K. Mumbai Marathon ek baar to karna hai. So 2014 was Mumbai. And again, you know, see, if you notice, I mean, this is all done on my own, but Hal Higdon, beginner plans and everything. So it was again kind of following a routine and stuff. So I would run. My cross training was walking and yoga, which I happened to be doing. I didn't know this is yoga is strength training, but I was doing it. So, you know, I got to know all these things later on.
Okay.
And that's how it happened. So 21 and then 40.
रुक जा थोड़ा. So in all this, you know, you were a national player, and then जैसे फौज में हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि now we love running, you know, distance running is you know, something very close to heart to all of us. पहले ऐसे होता था ना कि यार वो punishment वाला, I am sure being a national player, running used to be the punishment thing ना पहले कि so my sports is the punishment of your sport.
I mean, maybe I always enjoyed it because I never remember feeling कि यार क्यों चक्कर काटने हैं types. It was just something that we had to do, finish. I mean, it was like these drills we need to do, we need to do. It's as simple as that. There was never that thing that I'm running, yaar, itna ye time pass kar rahe. And we would be, I mean, we would be just thrilled to be on the court. That was like the highlight, no? I mean, it was brilliant. We just had a lot of fun together.
नहीं, but then
I
कभी life.
it's always been fun for me. Even now, it's fun.
Yeah, so that I know how do you enjoy, like you enjoy your run really, really, because I've seen Mansi running also, so so I know how much you enjoy. So with all this, back pain, and there was a disc lapse, and then always, back is one thing when everyone also says कि इतने रनिंग करने से नी घस जाता है, पीठ दुखेगा, all those things. So weren't you afraid when you took back, again in 2012 when you started running? तो कभी दिल में ऐसे नहीं आया कि यार ये सब फिर से आ जाएगा, and I'll go back and
No. You know what? I had these relapses whenever. I mean, I worked at Wokhad Hospital. Tab bhi also when I ended up, I had to quit my job because again I was laid up for a month. Hiranandani Hospital, again a similar experience. So by then I guess I was used to it. I know when my body, listen to your body jo bolte hai na. It's very simple. So that initial soreness na, the moment I know कि थोड़ा ये हो रहा है, पड़े रहो चुपचाप 2-3 दिन, and then usually I get back. And frankly speaking, ever since I've started with this running and strength training and all the routine, I feel I'm way more fitter and in less pain. Though I have had a relapse even during this lockdown. Let me be very honest. And yeah, I've had an issue because with all the housework and stuff which we are not used to, everything has suddenly piled up. So हुआ थोड़ा सा. I'm sure everyone has had aches and pains. ऐसा कुछ बड़ा नहीं था. But one day I actually couldn't stand, and my daughter was petrified because she's never seen me like this. I mean, it's always been a totally different mother that she's seen. So she was truly scared. That was just, but one day, that's what I'm saying. When it was just unbearable. But yeah, things got sorted. It's not such a big deal.
Yeah, and then जो पहला, lot of friends are there, सब लोग wish कर रहे हैं, everyone is waving you and saying मस्ती भी कर रहे हैं कोई ये, so never mind. So वो जो पहला 4 किलोमीटर था, because see, we always say that first step from, मुझे बहुत लोग पूछते हैं कि how to start running, how to start. Lot of, I mean, I'm sure hundreds of people would have asked you. अभी भी बहुत लोग पूछते हैं कि कैसे करते हो, मतलब how to start that. So I always tell them, मेरा standard answer होता है, थोड़ा मैं phrases में बोलता हूँ, तो always say the first step is that difficult step from your bed to the floor, that is the first difficult step. Every day अगर सुबह उठ गए, अलार्म, जिस दिन हमने अलार्म बंद करके, स्नूज बंद करके उठ गए, तो उस दिन रनर बन गए. So how was your experience of that first 4 kilometers, after all this, when you decided to run that 4 kilometer? Obviously you would have gone with some training, na? Right? तो 4 किलोमीटर के लिए कुछ किया होगा ना?
Yeah. Even at that point in time, as I said, I was into running, but it was more कि running करो, फिर उसके बाद exercise करो और फिर घर आओ. So that आधा पौना घंटा जो भी था, warm up was happening, the running was happening, but it was like couple of rounds in the park and you're done. Like 8-10 चक्कर काट लिए, थोड़ा तुम्हारा after your warm up, exercise, and then you come home. That's it. So probably in that शायद 2-2.5 किलोमीटर. Honestly, Bijay, you know what? मैं जो Garmin पहनती हूँ ना, I started using it in 2016 when Salaj gave it to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Because he upgraded his watch and he was like, Sunita ने भी ले लिया है, तो तुम पहनो कुछ दिन. And I was like, okay, at least I can use it for my pacing. Because honestly, I don't look at my watch that often. If you've noticed, I never put timings, especially in my, whatever runs or whatever. It's very casual.
नहीं, और you never put your photos also. जैसे हम तो सिर्फ फोटो के लिए भागते हैं ना, तो तुम तो फोटो भी नहीं डालते हो.
कोई जरूरत नहीं है. I don't think anyone is interested. और anyone cares. घर वाले नहीं care करते, तो बाकी के वाले पे बैठा है.
So of course, lot of technical questions people are asking. We will answer that later when we come to the running section. So how was your first experience of running a 21 kilometer, because all of us remember our first half marathon. First half marathon is dear to everyone. So what was your experience of running a half marathon, pehla wala?
that was brilliant. Okay, now let me tell you about my first half marathon. I started training. I registered for the Pinkathon. Okay, before, as I said, I think that time it was in November or December. I'm not too. I
Yeah,
don't
correct.
recall. Registered for it, but unfortunately there was an issue in the family, so I couldn't
Mhm.
go for the race. I had to go to Pune at that point in time, so I skipped it. But thanks to that and thanks to FB, I connected with the Mumbai Runner Girl group where Roshni, who heads it, Roshni Rai. And at that point in time, luckily for me, she happened to live in Powai. So we met, and the first time I remember she came and she picked me up in the rickshaw, and subah subah hum log aare gaye. So honestly, she is the one who took me out. She gave me wings, I would say, And after that, I was like, हम लोग ने थोड़ा थोड़ा running साथ में चालू किया, and I was like, you know what, I want to do a 21 before my first HM, confidence आएगा. And she was like, कोई जरूरत नहीं है, 17 करेगी इतना काफी है. And I was like, no, I want to do one. And we were running in IIT at that point in time. Okay, तो हम
Okay.
लोग उधर का loop, there's a 7K loop which we would do. तो 2 चक्कर काटे, and she's like, करेगी थर्ड? हाँ ठीक है. तो हो गया 21. So that was like, randomly आराम से कर लिया. Because as I
Okay.
said, I was already into training, and thanks to her, I got a lot of pointers as well. So
Correct.
again, Mumbai Marathon, when I went for it, I distinctly remember I was Manoj came to drop us. There were these 3 other people with me. That time, my partner, Captain Bhupendra Saluja karke hai. He's moved to Lodha now, but we would
Okay.
run together after. So that's when I met him first, and we would all of us naturally, kya timing hoga, aisa waisa. And I was like, 130 as in 130 minutes. उसमें तो हो
Okay.
जाएगा. Because somewhere I was like, I am comfortable with 6 minutes per kilometer. And my
Okay.
timing was 4:06.
Oh,
Yeah. So generally, I'm not off the track. So even when I'm
okay.
running, usually I know what my pace is, 6 साढ़े 6. So even for that matter, आज भी मेरे दिमाग में वो 6 मिनट का मेरा comfort zone जो है ना, that's still there. So 21 in 6 minutes. Then 42. Now I want to reach that level where I can do a 42 where I can sustain the 6 minutes per kilometer. So फिर छोटा
Ah,
distance by default you can do faster, right? That's how it
yeah.
works.
Very good.
And for
So,
me, it's more about I want it to happen easily. मुझे मर मार के नहीं करना है. The enjoyment, I'm not ready to lose out on my enjoyment for the cost of those few minutes.
yeah, definitely. I know the Mansi, when you run, every one of your friends who are there, everyone will second me that you enjoy your run. कभी भी
Absolutely.
I've never seen you seriously ऐसे मर के करते हुए ना. So that is there. So when you say about RA, वो RA में वो रोशनी वाला एक point है. I remember we all used to run in 2010
16.
रोशनी. So वो point, I'm forgetting that name. वो पीछे वाला तबेला वाला जो point था.
16. जो वन
Yeah,
ट्री
yeah,
मिल
yeah.
वाला है 16.
हाँ. लंथी वाला वहाँ
उधर
वहाँ
से
पे
ही
you
हम
guys.
लोग उधर से चालू.
And Roshni is amazing, so
Absolutely.
I have a similar story. My first half marathon, I was doing the Thane Varsha marathon long back, and then Roshni happened to be in that run, and we ran for sometime maybe hardly a kilometer. Then I couldn't keep up with her because Roshni was Roshni. She had done Prague and all that time,
Yeah.
and she's an amazing friend. She's an amazing friend. I'm sure all of us knows, and she's also an author and things like that. So first 21 done. Abhi, we'll come to the technical questions after this. How was that? When did you decide to do that first plunge of 42 kilometers where marathoner bolte hain na jisko? So when was
Again,
that?
after the first 21, which was in 2014. Okay. The
Okay.
original plan was to better the timing in 2015. See, I would do only
Okay.
Mumbai Marathon, or basically one race a year. At that point in time, I was happy with that and done. Finish. Something like that. So, but again, incentive was Roshni because she planned to move out of Powai at that point in time. And I was like, Roshni, do you think I can go for the full this year? So, rather than doing it in 2016, should I bring it down to 2015? And she was like, "Haan, tu kar legi," because by then we had, we had trained quite a bit, and she was aware as to
Correct.
kaise
Three
chal raha hai
years of
guys.
training, yeah, all those
Yeah.
things. 3 years of running.
So, so she was like, "हाँ तू कर लेगी." So I was like, "Okay, चलो करते हैं." So that's how I registered for the full for 2015, and that's how I did it. And again, it was like months of training. And I remember, Giles had messaged me. Okay, at that point in time, I'll never forget. Okay, now I'm not aware about anybody. Now I know people, but at that time, and honestly, I will still say I'm quite clueless. Okay, usually I don't know what's happening around. I'm apne dhun mein types and not bothered about any kind of all kinds of stuff going around and whatever. But at that point in time, I remember very distinctly, Giles had messaged me and he was very nice. It was like FB pe aise random people messaging. I wasn't used to this kind of thing. And he
Correct.
had messaged and he was like, "You're a good runner," and this and that. And as usual, the way I talk now, I used to talk that. I've been like this throughout my life. Okay, I'm just special. But yeah, Giles had messaged me and he was like, "You're running well," and this and that. It seems.
After this interview, now people will not dare to message you because now they know that your mom is a criminal lawyer also. So अभी तो
खून करके भी निकल सकते.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay. So
so Giles messaged me at that point in time, and that time Roshni told me about him. He's a marathon coach and stuff. So that's when I got to know. And I remember I had asked him, ki should I attempt the FM? And he was like, "Are you mad? You have done one HM and this and bahut raag diya. You shouldn't do this and this and that." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I didn't bother after that. And then a couple of months later, he's like, "Mansi, you've registered for the FM." And I was like, "Yes." And then I was like, "See, I've taken years. My whole thing has been like 4K to 10K took a year. 10K to 21 took a year, 21 to 40. So basically, in terms of, it's just that I wasn't racing so much, but I've always been training. So even
Correct.
today, for that matter, in lockdown, I'm in training. I don't race. It doesn't make any difference to me. मुझे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. I run because I want to run. Simple as that.
Seriously. But तू ये लॉकडाउन में as Sachin is there is listening. तो सचिन ने पहले लिखा था कि लॉकडाउन में रनिंग के साथ बीजेपी भी होता होगा ना घर पे. बर्तन झाड़ू.
वो तो क्या डोंट मेरे पूरा हालत खराब हो गया. अभी क्या बोलने का जाने. वो तो पेटेंट किया.
First full, what timing did you do? First full marathon, like
first 4:33.
First full.
Yes. See, again, by the end of my training, I saw Nikhil Shah was pacing at that time. Okay. So I saw his tab मैंने जब in fact again Giles was like, "So what is your target? You want to do sub 4?" I was like, "Are you mad? Sub 5 भी कर लेगी तो I'll be happy, 5 घंटे के बाद कौन भागेगा?" So that was my logic. Okay, it was nothing. क्या
5 घंटे के बाद हम लोग जैसे लोग भागते हैं 5 घंटे के बाद.
It was also like that, no, Vijay. It was doable. I'm not saying. In fact, I admire people who take longer time. Okay, it's hats off to them. Honestly speaking, it's way tougher to run at a slower pace, especially with the beating the sun and the Mumbai weather. It is horrific. Believe me, I totally. Salute to these people who are slower runners. But genuinely, 5 hours is, and especially with Mumbai, starting at a later time. So even if we started early, then it is okay. But later on, it does start getting to you. So that is why. But at that point in time, I was like, sub 5 to kar legi main. Based on, because of the training, I was already kitna time, kya, kaise ho raha hai. Then when I saw Nikhil Shah's pacing strategy, he was the 4:45 pacer. उसका pacing strategy देखने के बाद I felt, okay, this seems doable. So back of the mind, it was like 4:45. Okay. And when we started off, Roshni was like, starting में तू साथ में रहना, उसके बाद तू चली जा. Initially, don't take off. So she was my control. And initially, we ran together till Pedder Road. Then I think I saw the 4:45 pacer. I went along with them. They had a walk-run strategy, which I refused to follow. I just stuck to my running. but I went with them more or less till the I mean, the ceiling basically. After
Okay.
that, then I took off, and it was so much fun because I had loads of energy and I just kept passing people, and I finished brilliantly. I mean, there was nothing. There घड़ी वड़ी तो थी ही नहीं. So I was not aware. मुझे timing बाद में पता चला.
Seriously,
I was
seriously.
just
Crazy,
that's why
yaar.
I keep saying I just run. That's it.
Nee, that is for true to what you are. Like first full 4:33 without watch, and not knowing kya kya chal raha hai. You are, that pacer is your point of this thing. So amazingly, hats off to you for that. So ye story most of us doesn't know. Even I came to know about this. So बाकी कैसे ना हम लोग मस्ती मस्ती में बोलते लाइक whenever हम लोग 5:30 5 5:15 में जब भागते थे तो दो चीजें थी. एक तो ऑफ कोर्स स्लो रनिंग, सेकंड इज वो 2,000 रुपए देते हैं ना 6 घंटा भागने का, तो वाई टू फिनिश इन 4:30.
पूरा वसूली करेगा. Absolutely. That too I totally agree.
वो मेरा पूरा अपना बनिए वाला हिसाब है. 600 रुपए 2,000 रुपए देते 6 घंटा भागने का करके. So,
Absolutely.
what was, subsequently, I think your personal best is 4:10 or something, right? 4:14, if I remember.
420. 420 recently, as in last year, Pune full. Pune
Yeah, yeah.
International.
And amazing because Pune International में 4:20 करना itself is a big thing, because of the support and because of the timing, so
Maybe this
had
time
to.
we got lucky because the route had changed. But the last 10 kilometers, full traffic. I mean, I could have just got on to somebody's bike and gone, yeah. It would have been easier, I guess. And
There
Pune में
was
तो उल्टा उल्टा सब जगह से सब लोग चढ़ जाते हैं, मजा.
I swear.
I got lucky because a friend of mine from Pune, Kirit Kokze, came and supported me. He was on his bike. I mean, he was actually making way for me, which was a
Correct.
huge help.
Yeah, in fact, I remember reading that post and where
Yeah.
Kirit was, making way for, because see, Pune jaise, Pune Marathon and all, unlike Mumbai Tata Marathon, Tata TMM, wherein all the permissions are there and people are also यहाँ के वो जोश वाला दिन रहता है. Pune में, unfortunately for that full और वहाँ भी that becomes a bit difficult. So hats off to you for that. So have you you also have run ultras, right? I think
Yeah.
Pune Ultra you ran. Kitna 75?
Yeah. And before that, I did the Mumbai Ultra, अपना 12 घंटा वाला. That was also बहुत मजा किया.
Pune में you ran 75, right? 75 kilometers,
No,
huh?
50.
50.
Okay, Mumbai Ultra I did 12 घंटा. That I did around 75. But I realized I don't have the time or inclination to put in so much effort. Because as I said, for me, it's all about training. I cannot do stuff without training. So till I am not convinced, I am not going to go for such things. So 50 kilometer is okay. That is doable.
And then, so all of you who are listening, so I'm talking to Manasi Samudra. She's, an awesome runner whom I've seen her progress, and, she inspires a lot. And 42 kilometer is 42 kilometers, and then 50 and 75 is 75. So she's yet to do a 75, but then the day she decides 75, 80 करना ऐसी भाग जाएगी वो. That's Mansi for you. So Mansi, तू ये बता फिर, now I come to the technical part of this. So a lot of people are there, a lot of people who are watching there. So people generally, there are two sets of people, there are some are very natural, जो they just believe कि run करना है. And then there are people like who are very technical, like focused, जैसे है approach है. First few years I was a person who never used to cross train or never. But बाद में, of course, you have to have your things right. So what is your take on someone who want to start running? Someone who want to, a lot of them are there who always ask me this question. So is it possible कि कोई भी भाग सकता है, या is it possible कि नहीं only few जो medically fit लोग हैं वही भागना चाहिए, या
No.
how is your take on that?
See, first thing is what you want to do. If you want to do it, you will do it. And running is just so simple, no? These days you can just, people are running without shoes. मुझसे नहीं होएगा. But yeah, essentially you don't really need anything. But I would suggest people should stick to what works for them. Just because you run, you can decide your distance. Just because
Correct.
somebody else is doing huge distances, running ultras, doesn't mean you should be doing it. And
Exactly.
for me, frankly, I believe the shorter distances are tougher,
Okay.
because then
Okay.
you get into all this speed and targets and these huge things. I find, I mean, of course you should have targets, but they need to be realistic. And every time it is new, believe me, after every race, anything you're training, it's always new. So, and you will know closer to your race to set your goal. The timing, you might have something in mind, but you never know what might, things might not go your way. So there are a lot of things which are there, but running is not, I mean, anybody can do it. Absolutely anyone can do it. I mean, I've met, in fact, through running and thanks to FB and connection meeting, I've met so many incredible people. There are people who have rods in their spine who've done ultras. There are
Oh,
people who don't have legs who are running. There are people who have, I mean, Kirit for that matter has got nuts and bolts practically everywhere throughout, and he's done the France cycling event, which is like such a huge deal.
correct.
Unfortunately for him, he had a puncture and stuff, so he couldn't complete. But I mean, there's just so much inspiration around, Vijay. What are we talking about?
No,
I
still,
mean,
still, when you talk this thing, a lot of people say कि नहीं ऐसे नहीं भागना है. You should know that. See, one is running, तो हम बचपन से करते हैं. We all are born to run some form or the other. So will you also advise that, see, before taking up this sports, or before training hard, rather getting into a distance, whatever we call into the distance running, do you advise कि medically check करना चाहिए अपने आप को, या some heart conditions or
by
cholesterol?
default, irrespective of whether you're running or not. In this day and age, at this point in time, I think health checks we've been doing for since God knows how long. Now you just need to be more diligent about it. In fact,
Correct,
it will
correct.
help. So it's both ways. Running can be benefit, or anything for that matter. I mean, coming from a pharma background, believe me, medicine can be poisonous. It depends on what you take, in the right proportion. It's all about balance. So
Exactly.
naturally, anything running can be beneficial or it can be disastrous. It's up to you.
Correct.
People
And
need to
and
be sensible about it.
and then do you also suggest that moving from, because your journey has been like 2014 say you started, and gradually you took 2012 say, and then 2015 you ran your first full. So we always see that one is because of the social media and thing. Running is good for running. It's good for running as a sports, and it's good for everyone. People are coming out, and these days of corona and things like that, immunity is the
Yeah,
thing which is talked about. People always say that
absolutely.
since you guys, so a lot of people tell us that since you are runner, you guys, your immunity is much better than all those stuff, thing. So do you suggest that there should be time, it should be time bound कि पहले अपना check कर लो दो, like you start running say 1 kilometer, 5, 10, and then
Of course.
gradually train, and then you move to a half marathon. Don't come under a peer pressure or a social media pressure, because I know these days I see a lot of youngsters. See, as we talk, both of us, we both are only runners. We love running. We are no experts to tell कि कितना करना है, क्या करना है. But as a enthu guys and have been running from so many years, so what your take would be? Because a lot of people start running and in 1 year they move to ultra also. They run 100 kilometers.
I
Many of
don't
them
think.
suffer also.
Yeah,
Hello?
obviously. That's what, no? They
एक
suffer.
minute, Mansi. I think आवाज. Just one sec.
Vijay, 1 second. Huh?
Hello. Sorry. Yeah, Mansi. Can you hear me, Mansi?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
अच्छा, बीच में ना एक क्या होता है कि whenever you get a phone call, तो सामने वाले का आवाज
Yeah.
कम हो जाता है straight away.
Okay.
I just had a phone call. So what is your take on that?
No, of course, you need to take it slowly. You cannot, as I said, I took a year from 4 to 10 to 21 to 42. After that couple of months, I did my ultra. But I put in 4 months of hard work for it, and again, I had trained for my full. So I was already there. And
Okay.
I mean, it was only after I saw the training plan, and I mean, Sunil Shetty, the ultra runner, he guided me. He was the one who gave us the training plan. And once I saw that that was doable, most of it was over the summer vacation. So it was a matter of just sticking to it and doing it. So if you're ready for that kind of commitment, then I think you can go for it. But why? I mean, what's the hurry? पूरी जिंदगी तो भागना है ना, सब अभी करोगे तो बाद में क्या करोगे?
Yeah. थोड़ा टेक्निकल इशू है थोड़ा.
It needs to be, mileages need to be increased slowly. I think everyone has been saying that. There's nothing new that I'm saying. But yeah, I agree. And whatever you are comfortable with, stick to that.
Very true. So during times of Corona, before Corona, if you remember March, जब lockdown होने वाला था, so a lot of questions, there is a question, people, even now, there are two phases. जब 15 March को, when I remember when we did a long run, then everyone was like, advising कि long run नहीं करना चाहिए. As there is one question from Prabhakar also, it affects your immunity and, which obviously yes, because when you do a long run and you are susceptible after that for some time. So what is your take on that? Of course.
See, right now I am doing long runs. I'm following a thrice a run weekly schedule, which I normally do. 3 days run, 2 days strength training and yoga at home, which I've always done. So I'm continuing with the same. Difference is I'm running at an easy pace. And long run, again, I'm sticking to 15 kilometers and 18 kilometers, alternating. That's it. I'm not going beyond that because I don't feel the need, since I'm not training for any race. Why would I put in the time and effort? I'd rather sleep and I mean, there's plenty of stuff that we are any which ways, doing
exactly.
at home. So that's perfectly okay. But yeah, 15 and 18. So again, I'm not going beyond 2 hours, which makes sense, which I think Dr. Kumarjan and Janardhanan had already mentioned. So which works for me as well.
And then what is the training pattern you follow? Is it so? Is it a mix of strength training, resistance training, stretching, yoga, and running, or it is only limited to running and few other exercises? How's your routine like?
Diligently, that I learned during my ultra training from Sunil Shetty, the importance of strength training. So no matter how much I run, 2 days strength training is a must. And I club that with yoga for the simple reason that I feel refreshed afterwards. Strength training tends to drain me out. So after that, when I do yoga and pranayam, by the end of it, I feel good. So that's how I club it, and it's worked well so far for me.
So
and especially back issues, I don't take too many pangas with, trying new stunts and stuff. I stick to the basics, body weight training. So maybe thanks to that, I wasn't really bothered with the lockdown because I anyways do my stuff at home on my own. So I don't really, the gyms closing and stuff hasn't really affected me.
So are you a person, a self-learner, a whatever plans you make, or you make your run for the week, or do you have a coach, or do you suggest that it's always advisable to have a coach or someone who knows,
You need guidance, that I agree. See, again, when I started out running, I followed Hal Higdon's beginner plans. So that was kind of a guidance. It's not totally, kuch bhi karo types, man mein aaya, bhag liya, itna kiya, whatever. No, that was again structured. After that, thanks to Roshni, I had, I got guidance from Daniel Vaz because we were following his schedule. So to a certain extent, I got, he wasn't around, but he kind of helped me in my FM. Then Sunil Shetty was the one who guided me for my ultra, and again for another HM plan which he gave me. And by then, after that, I picked it up, and between Salaj and me, we would make our own plan. I'm kind of now making my own plans and going with it, you know. After a point, it's not exactly rocket science, you know. The speed intervals, tempo,
Yeah,
hill
obviously.
repeats, and and I make things very easy for myself. इससे ज़्यादा मुझसे नहीं हो पाए. I'm okay, as I said, you know, it's fine.
No, because
So,
I know you are one of those runners who are very sorted out, and
yeah.
that
Please,
when
not
you should run and kya karna hai
there's
types.
more to life. You cannot just, I cannot be bound with just being a runner. Sorry. There's much more in life.
Seriously. So, कोई ऐसे इंसिडेंट है you remember where you think that ऐसे मैं नहीं करना चाहिए था, for example many a time it happens कि next day is your event and then you are short on sleep, say या तो party को गए previous day, you cannot avoid, and then you are short on sleep, and or कोई next day training run है, you have slept for 3 hours 4 hours, body when you get up at morning, body बोला नहीं यार नहीं हो रहा है, still you went and run. ऐसे कोई event है, do you remember such anything such?
Not really. I mean, मेरे लिए ना नींद बहुत precious है. So these kind of things, and I'm not into drinking or partying too much, too many late nights. I'm an early bird person. So generally, this kind of thing hasn't happened in terms of, you know, मैंने ये नहीं करना चाहिए था and I got up early. But sleepless nights happen sometimes when you can't get to sleep before your marathon. That you really can't do anything about. But beyond that, not really. Sorry.
Okay. So I expected that answer. मुझे मालूम था कि तू वही बोलेगी because you are not that. हमारे जैसे लोग हैं, we have lot of such stories कि जहाँ पे रात को दारू भी हो गई और next day जाके जबरदस्ती का रन भी हो गया.
Sleep, bro. Then what is your problem? क्या क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है मेरे लाइफ में? नहीं जाएगी, क्या होएगा?
ऐसे. So also tell what is your focus on nutrition? To how importance does do you give to nutrition?
See, I have a nutritionist friend in Pune, Avanti Deshpande, who was kind enough to guide me initially. And again, being from the health and pharma background, I've been kind of aware and, you know, into this already. So it's not such a massive change. It's just about following a decent diet at home, ensuring you get the right amount of protein. And I became more particular about the pre-run and post-run recovery, protein bit
Okay.
particularly. So pre-run eating, earlier I used to eat a banana, but banana maybe few nuts. But later on, because she told me, I switched to chapati with peanut butter, or I carry a peanut butter sandwich or a cheese sandwich or something before my race if I'm going outside somewhere. And that helped. I mean, you know, that was something which, so pre-run became like a thing. And then post-run, I have sattu with buttermilk, and then proper breakfast, whatever I make, which will be later. But that's something which has worked for me. I don't really have any kind of whey protein or these
Okay.
market bought things, and so far it has worked for me. So I guess it's fine. And of course, throughout the day, you have your dal, your usal, your chicken, your egg, whatever you have. Ensure you eat well. I avoid junk. Avoid being the key. It doesn't mean I don't eat anything or whatever. But everything, as I said, it's all about balance and moderation. One life, yeah. I want to live it large.
Seriously, I agree with you. So I remember when you said कि pre-run क्या खाना होता है, banana, and so I remember someone asking me कि ऐसे questions में पूछते हैं ना कि सर अब रन के पहले क्या खाते हैं करके, या रन के बाद. तो पहले वही बोलते थे कि जब रनिंग स्टार्ट किए थे तब बनाना खाते थे. अभी इतने साल से रन करे अब गाली खाते हैं रन के बाद. खाते जरूर है लेकिन.
खाते पीते घर के हैं एकदम.
So now coming to so do you also believe in there's lot of people say that when you do a full marathon or when you do a hard training in a week, do you also believe in sports therapy, sports massage and things like that? There's a lot of friends are there.
Believe yeah, I guess it helps. But honestly, I'm just too, maybe I don't really bother too much. But foam rolling helps a lot. So if nothing else, do invest in a foam roller. So that is something which is there. So, I mean, getting a massage ideally would be great, but I don't really, as I said, I'm a little scared also because of my back issue. कोई कुछ
Okay.
गलती से कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया ना, so then I know how bad it can be. As I said, I've been laid up on bed for a month, so I know. तो वो भी एक थोड़ा है, but that's why you need to be very particular, especially with massage and everything. अगर बंदा या बंदी जो भी है, if that person is not really doesn't know,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
be careful. So, but yeah, foam rolling definitely I do diligently, and it's a huge help.
Very true, very true. And so, other than your back issues, have you, like every runner, injury is part and parcel of a runner, because of we are not professional athletes. All those various factors matter. So, other than that, have you ever got injured? Do you remember getting injured for anything?
The only time as such was when I was training for the Mumbai Ultra, because
Okay.
तभी mileage बढ़ा ना. So that was when I remember knee pain I had got. That was what they called runner's knee. And
Runner's knee, yeah.
yeah, and I was like, I couldn't run, forget walking was a tough task. And Sunil was like, it happens and just back off, and this is okay. It's not such a big deal. Just don't do this. And honestly, for me, I was delighted. I was like, chalo, 6 घंटा 8 घंटे का run नहीं करना पड़ेगा. I was very happy. I was like, it's perfectly okay. I'll get to sleep more. I mean, he was like, बहुत time है अपने पास. You don't worry and everything. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. But naturally, Manoj was concerned. So I went to the orthopedic as well. And he was also
Okay.
like, it's perfectly fine. Just avoid heels, gave me medicine, told me exercises, and I was sorted. So that's what I told कि during that period थोड़ा सा strength training neglect हुआ था. So I learned it.
Oh,
उसके
okay.
बाद I हाथ नहीं लगाया. So I was like, strength training तो must है. You need to do this no matter what. And after that, not really. थोड़ा सा इधर उधर कभी कभी niggling pain तो होता है. Your standard अभी with age, अपना hip, heel spurs, that is there, but that again is very nominal. It kind of goes away on its own. You can't really do anything about it. So उसके लिए भी I had consulted the physio, but she was also like, थोड़ा बहुत है, and then थोड़ा वो padding डाल के चल जाता है.
Okay. And are you a technical person, when you say कि मैं अगर एक जूते लेती हूँ, so are you that
Absolutely.
कि पूरा research करेगा and things like that?
I am totally clueless. I'm telling you, no. I'm like the least aware person in the running fraternity. I don't have any. I don't give gyan. I don't have any gyan. I mean, whatever I've learned, the basic things, but so be a little sensible about it. There are things which you learn, you pick up, lightweight shoes. I mean,
Okay.
cushioning चाहिए, depends on, and there's just so much knowledge and awareness now. But it's come up later on, all this gait analysis and what you need and whatever. So everything is available now. So it's up to you whether you want to take it or not. But be little, I mean, don't go overboard either which ways. कि है, मुझे तो सब आता है, ऐसे भी नहीं है. And it's not like end of the day, as I told you, the place that I went to the Kalimpong run, which I did over there, and these youngsters were there, and they run brilliantly. You know how these pahadis run. And they were like wearing this because by then I had graduated, I had become a little bit more savvy and wearing Puma attire and all. I had become the brand ambassador, so I got clothes and stuff. So, and by then I had learned, okay, ye pehne se, these kinds of things. And I was like, you know what, guys, this is window dressing. End of the day, your core, you all are inherently only great. So this can help only to a certain extent. तो कुछ भी कर ले, सुपर बनने वाला है नहीं. So
correct. फिर लाइफ में since you blog a lot about each runs. I've seen, I think probably you are the only person other than you, I think Shweta is the other person whom I see that who blogs about most of your events and run, so when you run, so do you keep all those sequence? अच्छा यहाँ भी ऐसे हुआ, यहाँ मैंने पानी पिया, या यहाँ ये गिरा था, तो ये अभी मुझे लिखना है जाके. So that is how the sequence, because you are, क्योंकि generally when because तेरा blog, anyone who reads we'll come to know the essence of that entire thing, you know. So
Yeah,
so
थोड़ा
you
बहुत
make
अभी
that
थोड़ा
picture.
ध्यान देके होता है. Initially, it wasn't that focused. Then when Daniel sir had commented on one of the things, regarding hydrogen and all, it wasn't. I mean, I would just write as per my thing and highlight whatever I felt, because again, for me, I am thinking in terms of a runner. So what would I feel? For me, it's all about value addition, Vijay. What would interest me? So
Correct.
what would help me? So these are the things which I pick up. And then when he mentioned these 2-3 points, then I started elaborating on those also. Otherwise, I was
Okay.
not interested in hydration mila, idhar tha, were the, the kilometer markers there or things like that. So these things also I started keeping in mind. But
Okay.
otherwise, it was more about the experience. To me, it was more, it's always about the experience. The rest is important. It falls in place. But for me, the overall event, kaisa kya, it's not that tuck, 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 char, was this available? Did you get this? That kind of questionnaire, I'm not interested. Even, easily see what I blog about. I blog about the entire experience.
Correct.
And I
Correct.
blog
Correct.
about people because I enjoy my interaction. There's just so much to learn from everybody. And then hopefully, initially what started out as just a memory kind of thing uh, translated into something which helped people. So that's how it has been.
Very true. So guys who are listening, Mansi writes amazing blog. Do follow her blog, and she also writes about people. I mean, series of interview. And I'm yet to answer her questions. She had already sent questions to me. भेजता हूँ मैं. हाँ. So Mansi, ये बता कि now since you are writing about a lot of people, I know. So other than ऐसे तो होगा कि some interesting person would be there जिसके बारे में. So who's that other than me? और कौन किसके बारे में तू बताना चाहेगी?
There is, I cannot compare. Each one has their own story. That's exactly why it started out with just another runner story, because each one
Okay.
is inspiring. Each one has a tremendous journey. There are so many ups and downs. There's just so much happening. That's how I started with that particular series. And again, the current Stopgap Corona series started out with the thought process that right now is the time when we need all the help we can get. So these are the kind of people I want, the ones who are in there, who are aware, who are knowledgeable, and who are sensible and open to giving advice. So these are the kind of, and again, I've tried to pick up people from different places, so we're aware about different places. And fortunately for me, I got a tremendous response. I didn't expect it, honestly. I didn't. So, and that's the
Seriously.
reason why I'm posting them also very quickly. Otherwise, normally I don't post so many at a time. But
Very true.
right now is when the time when people need it. Now we are getting used to
Correct.
it. So now I will probably wind it down. Like couple of more blogs which I have, but otherwise we're kind of, everyone is aware now. So that's how it started out.
Great. And yeah, देखते देखते 1 घंटा हो गया. So what is your before Instagram throws out 1 घंटे का उसका session होता है. What is that one advice you want to give to someone who's about to begin this journey, beautiful journey of running? So one
Or
couple of
just
advice.
first step. I promise you, you will have a brilliant time. If I can do it, you
Seriously,
definitely. That
seriously,
first step is
seriously.
very, very important. And make sure you enjoy your run, race, whatever, no matter what. Enjoyment is key. Nobody can take it away from you. The rest will happen.
Seriously,
Timing. So
seriously.
if it's there, it's there. No one can take it away. But enjoyment is something which no one can. So that is something which is for you to grab. So be it
Exactly.
your trainings or your races or whatever, that fun factor needs to be there. Don't let that child in you die. Believe me, my
Seriously.
saying this, but yeah, I refuse. Sorry, I don't want to grow up.
So I think Instagram is telling us ho gaya karke. So guys, this is Mansi for you, and she's one of those runners who's favorite to all of us, and one amazing person who loves running. So thanks, Mansi. And this interview
Thank you.
would be available on Instagram IGTV. So I think Instagram is throwing us out 1, 2, 3. Thanks, Mansi. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
So thank you
Bye.
everyone for joining.